How you guys doing? I've been watching a couple phenomena happening, and I find it really interesting. The first phenomena, we see a lot of footage for the last maybe 3 to 5 years, maybe even more, where people are actually being burned for being a witch. I mean, this is the burning times resurgence. But this is happening in Africa and various parts thereof, Kenya and so forth, pretty much the western seaboard. And people are kind of scratching their head, how or why? Well, this is the reason, or at least my perception. A lot of the Christian churches I bump into have what's called missionary work, where they actually travel the world and not only they feed the natives, but they actually feed them their paradigm. And some news groups have shown up where they've actually interviewed these Christian groups and asked them, in some cases, why is your form of extreme Christianity being preached here but not in America? In other words, if you're in a tribe where there's people who are revered as witch doctors, they're being plugged into the "a witch shall not live," that kind of thing. And now, years later, we're seeing a surgence of people being burned alive, being killed, and it's actually being videotaped. You can Google it and hit the Google it, hit video, and you'll have a list full of people who are getting beaten up, knocked out, and thrown into a pit of fire. And this is because of what? Well, if you go into a primitive country where superstition is key, it is rule, it is part of their culture, and you reintroduce something that is equally superstitious, do I say, or equally as magical, then the people will act the way that they normally act in a native setting. So now you have a new paradigm being introduced to a bunch of primitive people. And those who want to argue with me the word primitive people, there was an argument with a housing police officer, a friend of mine, with another one, and the guy was saying how wonderful and advanced Africa was and is, and the guy turned around and said, "Yeah, name me one movie studio." Yeah, and some parts of this world are primitive. We have people in Brazil, for instance, that still live in caves, and parts of Africa still live in mud huts. That's just how life is in the world. Not our world, their world. But now when you have a social consciousness of people who are literally, really living in the earth, a part of the earth, and they're being introduced a new paradigm, and they listen for only one reason, and you could say this for Haiti as well, because this happens in Haiti with witchcraft. They actually discriminate people who are voodoo priests. So if there's actually like a food line and they find out that someone's a voodoo practitioner, they kick them out. You are not allowed to eat in this particular Christian food line. And that's also factual on Google search as well. So long story short, instead of really preaching a gospel of love, they're actually showing their true nature offshore. But the problem is, it's their perspective, and then it's adopted by a primitive state of mind of the natives there, and of course they go off and they start killing people. So now with the advanced technology going into these countries in the form of coffee huts or cafes, basically you rent out a computer for half a day and they create these accounts. And one was like how to kill a witch. I did a video on that to make it go viral and post it everywhere and let people know this was going on. But I'm also noticing too, people are going off in a very, very extreme way where they go off and they're looking for stuff to see and fight against. There was a band called Kill the Witch, or Kill the Witch. That's the title. And that was what was offensive to this person. It's on my friend list of all people. And so Donna, this lady Donna, wanted to pitch another do another cause, do another, hey everybody, look what's going on here. That's a band. They're playing music and they have a title called Kill the Witch. it's not offensive to me, not because I'm not a witch. It's just the name of a band. I mean, if they were burning crosses and, you know, effigies of people being burned at the stake, well, yeah, then I would see that to be offensive. But that's their First Amendment right too. So you can be offended and still, you know, you can turn the channel. You can't change content. You can't edit content if someone's actually promoting hate. And there's a difference. So what I did was I started looking at the differences of how, you know, how the people are perceiving was actually a hate speech versus just an inappropriate name. I mean, I listened to the band Slayer. Does that mean I'm going to go off and kill everybody? I mean, you know, that's the concept. This is the mentality that I see now. So, so the band's called Kill the Witch. I never saw it to be a bad thing myself because it's just a name. I don't know why it's such a big deal. But I went off and started to ask. I wanted to do this verbatim, but I have to paraphrase myself. I said basically those who are looking for a fight or looking for something wrong, they will find it no matter where they look and how minute it is. And if it's less tangible, the person who finds it becomes less credible. And that's the whole point of this message. If you're going to find something that is truly hateful, make it aware of it. Put the red flags up. Say, hey, these fuckers here are trying to, you know, enforce us. That's what I'm about. 110%. I got my own Jesus Ween video section playlist. After 3 years now, I'm promoting Jesus Ween, telling people, hey, watch out for these motherfuckers in white shirts handing out Bibles, and also how to act when you do deal with them, because if you act like the asshat, they win. And the problem I'm seeing now with the pagan and witch community is they're becoming the asshats because they're looking for fights. They're looking for shit to happen. They're out there fucking with people who really aren't worth fucking over or fucking with. So that's the whole point of this video, basically, is use your goddamn sense. Use your objectivity and use your logic, if you have any. Going into emotional fervor that anything with the word witch, kill, burn, or whatever is going to be against you in particular, but it might just be a title for something. What are you going to do now? Burn books if they have the same thing? You might as well just change your paradigm, have a cross around your neck. That's how I see it. So if you're going to post up something of an awareness, make it really awareness of something really hateful. Something that's really targeting your paradigm. If a name for a band, in my opinion, is not targeting your paradigm. Unless, of course, they're showing effigies of a burning witch. Then I understand perfectly well it's promoting hate and murder. But if it's not, it's just a band that's, you know, a garage band is playing some metal or some other music genre, that's what they're doing. They just picked a fucked up name. Move on. Don't play them. Don't listen to them. Don't watch them. But if you're going to go off and say, hey, you know, these guys are bad and it's just a bunch of guys in a garage band, you're bad because you're fucked in the head thinking that way. But again, this is my opinion. So use your head. So that's where I'm coming from with it. Anyways, so I'll be posting this up on several pagan and witchcraft sites because if you don't have that much common sense, and I have to tell you, there's something wrong. Take care and bye for now.